p.m. on the dot. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another week of the live stream. People joining on Instagram, hello. Doing good. Hope you are all doing well. Excited to answer some questions this week, get into it. Haven't really thought about like a theme for this week. Last week I was like, you know what, let's flip some stuff this week. I do have some really cool things to share, so I have an idea of some things, but what's most important is I want to answer all of your questions. So if you do have questions, business related, life related, throw them in the comments. It is snowing in Philly, and I'm fed up, totally fed up with the snow. They're just fed up with the snow. But you know what's interesting is Austin got totally crushed. So I guess we missed out on a real big storm in Austin. Our whole production team was down the entire week. It was insane. So if you guys have been following the vlog, you saw last week we didn't produce like an actual vlog style videos because everything was nuts down there. It was actually like the perfect like bad situation. Like everything that could go bad kind of went bad because the roads were all ice, like all ice. So you can't really get around anywhere. Then the power is shut off. So no power and you can't get anywhere. And then on top of all of that, the water shut off. Now, the good thing is that I guess that there's so much snow that it could be used to turn into water. So you don't have a huge issue if you actually need to drink water, but it's just like the perfect awful storm. And it was pretty bad. Like it was our coffee roaster broke his ribs. He slipped on ice, broke his ribs. So I feel bad for him. I'm sure that's really painful. So I've heard. What is up, Sonny? How's it going, man? Good to have you today. Tom, what's going on? Says snow's almost done. Little to the west of Philly. Okay, so yeah, we're still getting hit. We've probably how much have we gotten so far? Like 2 inches, Deirdre? Yeah, probably like 2 inches. It's just a little shoveling, I guess. Me and Deirdre have been thinking about going to Puerto Rico. We're fed up, totally fed up. We might go to Puerto Rico. We'll see. All right, cool. So questions, drop them. We're going to talk about a lot in this live stream. Some things that we're going to talk about a little bit in the next video, but I started something behind the scenes, which I don't think I've talked too much about. I have a horrible memory, so I don't know how much I have talked about it or not, but started something called MDC Consulting. We're not going to keep that as the name. I've just been calling it that for now. Sorry, I'm laughing because it's Sonny. That question's funny. I'll get to that question in a sec. But MDC Consulting is like right now our costs are really high, about $25,000 plus a month to run the MDC project. All the production we do, all the content, all the editing, all of it's really expensive. So we decided to start something called MDC Consulting, where we start doing that for other people for significantly less money. We started it a couple of months ago, and it's been going really well. It's taking up a lot of my time, but it's been going really well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're doing client acquisition for all you that are like super interested in running agencies. So I'll do that in a sec. We do have some questions here. So one of them on Instagram is, let's see. It's bringing you. Okay, so I wanted to ask, how's the business going? Is it bringing what you expect? Yes, business, all that stuff's good. Doing as expected. One thing that's super interesting that I realized I don't think I shared enough on the vlog that I think I might go back and potentially do a video on this is like the situation of going from like homeless to like getting on your feet and doing all that stuff. I really want to make it very clear to people that I would never, ever, ever, ever start an e-commerce business ever if I was in this situation. I think it's a really bad thing to do when you're trying to get cash and get on your feet. I think an agency is a significantly times 10 significantly better business to start. Is either a first business owner, or B, if you need to generate cash, because e-commerce businesses don't do that. They do not generate cash. You start an e-com business and you dump cash and dump cash and dump cash for things like marketing. So you're constantly putting money into the business, but there's pros and cons. You can have a bigger exit, etc., than an agency. But yeah, all that stuff's great. Okay, so Sonny's question, and the reason I was laughing was because he asked, "Have you been learning about NFTs?" And I have seen stuff about NFTs, and I was just messaging my brother this morning. Like I asked him if he knew what those were, and it seems like such bullshit. Like it just seems like such a weird thing to me. I could totally change my mind on it, but here's the problem. I feel like the government's pumping so much money into the economy. People have like money that they're like investing into stocks. That's why the stock market is so fucking inflated. Everything is so overpriced. Bitcoin skyrocketing. Now we got NFTs, and people are looking at that as an alternative. Maybe they're cool. Maybe I'm sure it seems like people are making money in NFTs. I don't like talking about or doing things that I don't really know enough about. And I don't know enough about NFTs. It seems like a very, very strange thing to me. But I'd like to learn more about it to uncover like what. So for those of you watching, an NFT, I might be wrong. So do not take this as what it is. An NFT is pretty much like commoditizing like digital stuff. So like I could take a pic screenshot of this live stream right now and then like sell it. And it's super weird. Like people could buy it and then say that they bought that original digital file, and that's what that is. So then like if you think about it, like there's like scarcity to it, but also like people create so much crap that like I don't know. Again, it's super weird to me. I guess if like you're an artist, then like you make a digital piece of art and you're like a well-known digital artist, and then you can sell the NFT, which is like the rights to that. I own this digital thing, and then you could trade the digital stuff. I think these things are good to know about. Like it's good to know about things like NFTs early if there is a lot of legitimacy to it. Again, to me, it's super weird. It seems like they try to start getting into NFTs because it becomes popular. Like anything, they don't know enough about it. They just do it because everyone else is doing it, and then they lose a lot of money. So that's what I know about NFTs, and I will continue to like look into it and stuff because it is interesting. What's going on, Alberto? Thanks for joining. All right, questions, pop them in the comments. So MDC Consulting. What's up, Chase? How's it going? Chase, you got to come on as a guest. You still haven't come on as a guest. We've been expecting you to jump on here as a guest, show a little face, maybe like share a little bit about what's going on your end. I know shit's crazy over there. But MDC Consulting, so we're doing execution work for clients. So content, we have a really good content team. We started doing that for clients. And what's really interesting to me is like the business model that we're kind of setting up with it. So we're thinking like, what can we do to add the most value possible with like the team that we have to start covering these insane amount of costs we have to produce content. And there's a couple things. Like one of them is producing content for others at a much more reasonable rate. But what I like better that we're kind of doing is we are creating like course/coaching work around creating content, which is actually like a downsell on execution work. So like there's some people that are hiring us to execute, and like they hire us, we take over their TikTok, we take over their Instagram Reels, we take over their Snapchat Spotlight, we take over their YouTube, their Instagram, etc. That's great, but we're also is a downsell selling coaching for the people that can't afford that, which is going to be like a whole coaching program on like how we do all of this. So that I'm really excited about because that we need about like 10 people per month to sign up for that, and then we cover the cost of our production team. So I think we're going to be able to get a lot of clients really quickly. Like our outbound campaigns are performing really, really, really well. So I'm excited to share some of that with you. Okay, question here. Tom asks, LLC. He said he formed an LLC in March exciting. Very excited for you, Tom. That's really cool. I do freelancing under a different name /email/website and have started a second business under a different name. Should I file for 2 DBAs? Okay. I have a lot of advice on this. I want to preface this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. So, Tom, you should go talk to a lawyer. But from my understanding, what I do with my own businesses is you want to have an LLC. And what Tom is talking about is having a DBA, a couple different DBAs. You can have as many DBAs as you want with an LLC. Now, the problem and what you need to understand, Tom, is when you have DBAs, like, well, let's take a step back. Let's say I start an LLC and call it Mike Black LLC. And then all my future businesses I'm going to put under that LLC, which means I never need to form an LLC again, which is great. But there's problems with that. So I could start DBAs. So let's say a DBA is Told Media. Another DBA is MDC Consulting. Another DBA is the ecom business. So they're all under that one LLC. Now, the problem with that is if one of those entities gets sued, all of the entities are liable. So let's say the ecom business gets sued and we lose the lawsuit. That comes back to the actual LLC, which also has those other DBAs, which means all of them are screwed. So for legal purposes, or not legal purposes, what's the word I'm looking for? For liability, that's the word. For liability purposes, it's good to have separate LLCs. If you're not worried about liability, then DBAs could be a great option. So, Tom, I hope that answers your question. So should I file for 2 DBAs? The answer is really like on your end, liability. Think about liability. Do you think you're going to be very liable to get sued or something like that? And you said you just want my opinion. My opinion is like that's a really loaded question to answer. So my opinion is if you don't think you can get sued, I would like to not spend a lot of money on like incorporating a new business and having to deal with all the other bullshit. So in that case, I would want to have DBAs. But if it's a business that there's a probability you're going to get sued in some way, shape, or form, then I would probably want different LLCs. Now, what I'll also say, Tom, is whenever I'm starting new businesses, I like to just put it up a DBA. Don't spend money on incorporating until you're sure this is something you'll be doing for quite some time or that you're going to try to scale. If this is something you're trying to test out for a little bit, then again, personally, I'd probably just do a DBA. But understand the liability risks that you're taking by doing that. The other thing I'll mention, Tom, is when you have an LLC, again, it's not legal advice, it's just what I do. When you have an LLC, you want to, or I want to have an LLC corporation and file an S election. By doing that, you get the benefits of being an LLC, but you also get taxed a certain way where you don't have to pay self-employment tax, which is really good. If let's just say you make $100,000, you can get about like $15,000 back on the self-employment tax loophole. If you do things correctly. So if you're making 50K or more, is what I've found to make a lot of sense to be an LLC corporation, file the S election, and then you get a bunch of self-employment tax benefits. Just a side note on that. Again, not legal advice, none of that, but this is what I do and what I've learned from starting dozens of businesses. Deadline is this week, but next week will work. I don't know what that means. Deadlines for what? Oh, Deirdre's saying that she's clarifying, Chase, and saying you have some deadlines. Yeah. I guess that came through while I was talking about LLCs. For you to come on. Yeah. I see. Okay, cool. Chase, hit me up. DM me. Okay. Tom says, thanks. Of course, Tom. Okay. So Sunny, actually, before I get to this, I want to make sure that I don't have any questions coming through on Instagram. Because I think we do. Okay. We actually do have a couple. Let me get to these Instagram ones. Okay. So one of the questions are there any periodicals or magazines you read that pertains to your business or personal interest and or motivates you? Okay, that's a great question. So pretty much the question is like, what am I reading, consuming? I'm going to take that a little bit outside of just like periodicals, magazines. I'm going to talk about like newsletters and like any types of content. So the way that I am personally, I don't really consume a lot of content, to be honest. I used to, like the earlier stages of my business, starting my business. Here's how I work. If I want to learn something, then I'll consume stuff, but only if I want to learn something. So like if I really want to learn, I don't know, like how to grow on YouTube, I'll start consuming some like YouTube stuff. Right now, what I do, one, Clubhouse is great. So in terms of like consuming content, I love Clubhouse. If you don't have an invite to Clubhouse, DM me. I think I have a couple. Clubhouse people speak about different topics. I was actually in a room the other day on like YouTube marketing, and it was awesome. So I really like Clubhouse. I also really, really, really like Trends by The Hustle. It's a membership. If you guys have been following me, you've probably heard me say it a couple times. I love Trends. Trends, what they do is they like follow. They have analysts internally that look into different businesses in a lot of different like markets, and then they share their analysis. And they also have a Facebook group, which is incredibly valuable, with a lot of really, really awesome people in there. So if I consume any content, it's Trends. I'm not big on Twitter, but I've also started like following people on Twitter that I like. And I've been using Twitter a little bit more. So instead of like consuming like a magazine or a newsletter, I'll just go on Twitter and like follow some of the people I like, and I'll write threads and I'll read that. I'm not big on newsletters. I know that a lot of people are. I don't like consuming newsletters. I don't read magazines. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm more of like big on Facebook groups and like human contacting human. That's how I learn, is like asking a question in a Facebook group. And then I used to listen to some podcasts, but I don't do any of that now. So unfortunately, I don't know if that was the answer you wanted or not, but I don't really consume that much. So let's see. Okay. So the question is, would love to hear about the outbound strategy for your coaching service, exactly what I am struggling with right now. Okay, so Sonny, it depends on what you're doing, right? And anyone listening, depends on what you are doing. Now, I am really big, and I don't even want to call it like a coaching business. It's more like consulting. I'm not like necessarily selling coaching, I guess, but our MDC team will be consulting for people. So, and are consulting for people. So, a little bit different in that sense. The other thing I want you to note is like anyone watching, like any type of professional service business or agency is the same as long as it's B2B. The operations are all the same. So like no matter if I'm starting like a content business or told media, a dev agency, or an accounting practice, all the operational stuff is the same. So like how you do outbound is typically the same, depending on the types of clients you're going after. If you're going after like major big clients versus like small businesses, there's going to be a different approach, right? Sonny says, I'm helping content creators create digital businesses, coaches, coachings, communities, etc. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing. Like in terms of like we're helping creators, I guess, and so we're kind of like same thing. So a lot of what we're doing is, I guess, a couple different approaches. So one of them, we're leveraging Indeed. The other thing we're doing is we are using Upwork a little bit. I crush on Upwork. So if you guys look at any of the content I put out on Upwork and how to get gigs on Upwork, just go watch the videos. I show you exactly how I do it. Anyone that wants to start doing consulting or coaching or any type of like execution work, Upwork is incredible to do this. And if you do it correctly, you'll win a good portion of the bids you put out, which the way to do this correctly is optimize your profile on Upwork to be very specific, very, very specific, and then reach out to those people and make a Loom video. So in the early days of the project, someone actually asked me this, like, why did I start a e-com business instead of an agency? And actually, I think it was a major mistake. I figured I could scale an e-com business much quicker. But the truth is, an agency produces cash very quick. And I could have very quickly got to like $10,000 to $20,000 revenue a month. When I started trying to get Upwork clients, it was easy to close deals. So if you guys remember, there was a client that fired me, that we closed a $3,000 a month deal from. That was through Upwork, and I will. I got really sick of like living in the RV. We had a cockroach infestation in the RV, and I was like, this is terrible. I need to get the hell out of here. I need money. And within a weekend, literally, I was like, I'm getting a client this weekend, and I landed that $3,000 contract. So I maybe spent like 10 hours, and I was like getting a client, and I just did this strategy where optimize the profile very specifically, and then apply to jobs on Upwork and record a Loom video. And if you do that, no one else, a significant amount of people don't do that. And increase your conversion getting someone on the phone, and it shows you're an expert in something specific. So it works really well. So Upwork. The other outbound strategy is cold calling, Sunny. So we're doing a lot of cold calling. We're going to call, my goal is to call like 200 to 300 businesses a week, which really isn't too much. And if you can convert that, I mean, I was teaching the team how to cold call, and it was funny because I was like, we use HubSpot is our CRM, which I highly, highly, highly recommend you have a CRM. I personally like HubSpot better than anything else. And it records the call so your team can hear it. There's laws around that though. So like you have to either contact places where the laws aren't effective, or you have to tell people you're recording it. But it's really just for sales purposes and like learning purposes. But I was teaching them how to do it, and literally on the call, I made 3 calls total and lined up an appointment in the 3 calls. So cold calling is so effective. It's really effective if you know how to do it right. And what I do when I do cold calls is, as quickly as possible, just like build trust and just get really personable. And my whole ordeal is like really happy, friendly type of vibe. So like I call and I'm like, hey, how's it going? They answer. And then I don't ask anything. I don't ask anything else. I don't like mumble and go on tangents. It's just like, yeah, so I'm calling because I'm looking to talk to the person who's in charge of marketing. And I just wait. I just stop. And it's insane how many people actually just hand the phone over to the person who's usually the owner of the business. And then I'll just talk to the owner of the business. Or they'll like try to do it and they won't be available at the moment. And then a lot of times they'll say, like, can I take a message? Never opt in for that. And there's a way to frame this. And what I say is like, oh no, that's fine. If it's easier for you, why don't you just give me the person's email and I'll shoot over an email? And they almost always give me the email. And then when they give me the email, I always ask what their name is. So like while they're giving me the email, I'll be like, okay, thank you so much. And what was your name again? If I didn't get it before, Susie. Oh, okay, Susie. Thanks so much. Have a great day, Susie. And then I write that down in HubSpot. And then when I send the email, I'll let them know like I talked to Susie. So like they know I actually talked to someone. And then most important thing, 3 email sequence. So when I'm doing any outbound, whether it is Indeed outbound, Upwork outbound, cold calling outbound, you need to follow up. So there'll be a first email in the sequence, and then we have again 3 email sequence in HubSpot that auto triggers a certain amount of days after. I don't know how long we have it, but we'll send the email, and then we'll send the follow up, and then we'll send the follow up. And then when they get to the end of the funnel, I'll take a look and see what actions occurred, because I can see how many times people opened the emails, what replies happened between emails, everything. It shows all the stats in HubSpot. So if no one ever opened email 1, 2, and 3, I'll take that lead and put it back to the top of the sequence, which means we need to call these people again. If they opened like 1 email and then they never responded, then we'll just stop emailing them. If they opened all the emails like 50 times, and really I mean like each email like 3 times, then I'll probably put that in a special list that's like, hey, this person's showing interest because they're opening every single email and they're doing multiple times. Let's like not just like call this like closed loss. Let's figure out maybe this person's interested. How can we monetize that? So, Sonny, I hope that's helpful. What we're doing again, Indeed, cold calling, and Upwork. Those are the 3 things right now. There's a lot of other things, by the way. Like if you're trying to do this, like creating content's great. Places like Clubhouse could be a really great way to generate leads. You said the thing about like what you enjoy doing, what you're good at. I cannot say enough good things about cold calling. Like if you cold call and you have a good offer. Now here's the thing, guys. You have to think about your offer, right? Like at the end of the day, like, okay, if I'm gonna go cold call, I don't know, I'm gonna make something up, real estate agents, right? What is the best possible offer you can throw in front of a real estate agent if your goal is to like, I don't know, like help them grow their business? Which, by the way, notice I didn't say like run Facebook ads. I said grow their business. At a high level, you have to figure out like what's the value add and like what's the best way to solve it. So the thing that you're trying to help real estate agents with is growing their business. What's the best way to do that? And like, what's the best offer you could possibly put in front of someone? That's going to increase your conversion. So think about that and think about how you approach it. Think about how the business model is, because there's a lot of ways to sell it. Again, technically, you could be like, okay, we run Facebook ads, or you could be like, we help people with content, or you could do this or this or this. Then once you actually do all that, what's the best actual offer? Is it like, hey, we create courses for you on like how to grow your business, or we actually run the Facebook ads for you, or we do a pay per visit type model. And then you actually have like, in terms of execution, you have I don't know what to call it, like different levels of the funnel where you can operate. So the top level is like, oh, we just run Facebook ads, you pay us a monthly retainer. Then another one is like, you pay us per appointment. Or another one is like, you pay us for every person that pays you. And the further down that funnel you go, the more you can charge per action or acquisition. And that's something that I've been thinking about a lot in terms of like how we approach this. We're not going to do any of that stuff though, but something to think about. Okay, let's see. So Daphne asks, with cold calling, do you always want to talk to the marketing person regardless of what your offer is? Social media versus dev? No. Great question though. So you want to talk to whoever you want to talk to. In my case, I want to talk to the marketing person. If I'm a dev agency, right? I'm doing cold calling and I'm a dev agency, and I'm like selling developers, let's just say, because there's different things you can sell at a dev agency, by the way. Then it's a little different. I'd be like, hey, I'm calling because I'm looking to talk to whoever's in charge of your software development, or I'm looking to talk to whoever's in charge of your DevOps. If you're selling DevOps, I'm looking to talk to whoever's in charge of your product. And product in the digital world is like the product manager. So whoever you're trying to talk to, Daphne, is who you should try to get in front of. Is there someone specific, Daphne, that you're trying to talk to for your business? Like, do you run a dev agency? Is that why you use that specifically, or were you just curious? Because if there's something specific you're selling, I can tell you who I would ask to talk to. And I would look that person up, by the way, Daphne. Like, I would find those people and try to get in front of those specific people if possible. It'd be kind of, I don't know if it'd be weird to cold call dev agency or like companies that need dev agency work. There's different ways to go about doing that, I guess. Because like if you think about marketing, a lot of these local marketing companies, they'll be calling like local businesses. So like they have a number. Whereas like if I'm trying to work with, I don't know, if I run a dev agency and I'm trying to work with like well-funded startups, how do I find those people's phone numbers? It's a little bit different because they don't put it on the website, right? So a little different in that sense. So you have to think about that. All right, Sonny says, I'm targeting content creators, not businesses. So indeed, Upwork doesn't work, and I'm not sure how to find their phone number. I can DM them or maybe find their email and start there. Okay, this is a great example. So like if you're working with content creators, like it's going to be really hard to find their phone number, right? So then you do have to do a lot. You have to get in front of them however you can. So like I would set up a cold DMing campaign and cold emailing campaign. You said Indeed and Upwork doesn't work. I don't agree with that, Sonny. So like on Upwork, content creators are always posting, I need to hire a YouTube editor. I need to hire this. I need to hire that. Their content creators are posting jobs on Upwork. From my experience of actually doing outreach, they might not have the same amount of money. But cold DMing them is definitely a good option. So if I were you, Sonny, you have to, let's just think about this. If you're doing a cold DMing campaign on Instagram, your Instagram needs to be optimized. So when they hit your Instagram, they're like, this guy's the expert for this. And when you message them, I would message them to add value. I've gotten cold DM'd by a lot of people. And like one of the best cold DMs I've ever gotten was someone like cold DM'd me about YouTube specifically. And he was like, hey man, here's some like suggestions for your YouTube. And he actually like had watched my YouTube and he's like, I love how you're doing this, this, and this, but I think you could do better with this, this, and this. I'd love to jump on a call to like walk through these things with you and like make suggestions and just do like a free strategy call. And that's a great value add to get me on the phone. The goal is to always get the person on the phone. If I can get someone on the phone and you have a good close rate, then you're good to go, right? So it's figuring out how the hell do I get them on the phone? Having a good offer like that and structuring it that way is a great way to do it. But you want, when they hit your Instagram page, to be like, this guy's the expert in this, whatever it is you're selling. Okay, so Daphne says, just curious, I'm not selling anything yet, still trying to figure out my offer. Okay, great. Once you do have an offer, Daphne, let me know. Again, it's a different approach based off whatever you're selling. Now, with that being said, what I do want to make very clear, everyone, is you could, like Sonny, you could, like you said, content creators, like you could help someone become a content creator. Like that's kind of what we're doing. Like we're going and we're taking someone that is, I don't know, say like a real estate agent and helping them tell their message online. So now they're a content creator. So now you do have phone numbers to do cold calling with. There's a lot of ways to approach it. You just have to like really think about like, okay, what are some things I want to do? How do I want to get in front of people? And then, Sonny, someone like you, if it is just getting in front of content creators, eventually like Facebook might be a really good approach. Cool stuff. No problem, Daphne. If you have any other questions about it, just let me know. Chase said you should just message their grandmas on Facebook. That's probably the best way to do it. If you know what's up, hit up grandma on Chase. How would you find their grandma? Would you just look if their grandma's commenting? But yeah, Sonny, DM and cold emails. If you guys watch my last video, like I show you guys how easy it is to get someone's email. You just use Rocket Reach. Go to their LinkedIn, click the Rocket Reach button, grab the email, cold DM. And you just want to be clear, concise, to the point. Here's what I do. Here's what I have to offer. Value add. Let's jump on a call. Like, what's in it for them? I want to walk you through this and show you exactly how to do it. I want you to leave the call being able to do this, this, this by yourself. And then you get on the call, you do all that stuff, you add value. You also let them know what you can do for them. And if they choose to work with you, great. So that's how I'd approach that. Let's see. Let me see if we have any questions on Instagram. I think there was one I didn't get to. Okay. So we got a question on Instagram. It says, I have a business idea. How should I reach out to manufacturers for testing products? Okay. A little bit hard to answer that, but go to Alibaba.com and reach out to manufacturers. Now, I'm not an expert at that. I don't really sell a lot of products, so I'm not the guy to ask. What I will say is I'm going to change that question up a little and tell you, before you talk to anyone that does manufacturing, talk to people that hire manufacturers to develop their own products first. Don't reach out to manufacturers first. Reach out to people that do that, because they're going to be able to help you and tell you like, hey, this is what to look for. This is what I would do. And they can maybe even help you like vet to decide on a manufacturer. I wouldn't just go and like do that stuff without any like guidance or mentoring. So just a piece of advice there. Okay. Chase says, find their government name and their family members are usually listed. Just Google their name. There we go. Just find the government, guys. That's how to do it. Okay, so Sonny said, it's a good idea about Rocket Reach. It would take a while to optimize my Instagram enough to DM successfully. I disagree with that, Sonny. Which is why I prefer email, but I suspect many creators use LinkedIn. Okay. So, Sonny, number one, if careers are on LinkedIn, again, I'm a cold email guy. I love cold email versus cold DM personally. I've more experience on the cold emailing side, and I really like doing it. In terms of optimizing your Instagram, I actually totally disagree with you. There was some guy that was talking on Clubhouse or something. I don't know. I ended up on his Instagram. His Instagram sucked. It was terrible Instagram page, um, like 200 followers, but he like claimed he was very specific with what he did and who he did it for, which was like, I don't know, I help YouTubers get more views on their channel. And just like being so specific like that, like going to his Instagram, I was like, this guy's claims he's an expert at this. I don't know if he is, but like just being really, really specific, people will put credibility towards that. Like if you put out a piece of content or if you did something or if you DM me and then I go to your Instagram and your Instagram like tagline is like, I don't know, let me think of a problem I have. Here's the thing. When I think about anything, I just think about like problems that people have and then solutions that you can offer. Like it's actually interesting to me. Like if someone came to me and they're like, I don't know, if they're like, "Hey Mike, if I like publicly said that I had a problem with managing my Instagram page, I'm just going to make something up like that. Or like editing Instagram Reels. I fucking hate editing Instagram Reels and TikToks and stuff and I need help with it." If someone came to me and they were just like, "Hey Mike, I saw that you like hate editing reels. I'm gonna like spend 10 hours like editing reels so I get good at it, and then I'll do it for you for free for a week, and then like you'll pay me." I'd probably be like, "Yeah, let's do it," um, because I don't want to spend time doing certain things. So you have to like really understand the business owners that you're talking to and the offer that you're putting together, because like a lot of times the answer is time. That's what your people are buying. They're buying time. And even if you don't have like the perfect amount of expertise in it and you're willing to learn it, there's value in it. Now, with what you're saying though, again, put one or two taglines, put a tagline on Instagram, what you do, who you do it for, and then just literally put together like 5 or 6 pieces of content and just post it in a week. Like every day, just post a new piece of content. So then when people go to your Instagram, it's all there. That's all, literally all you need, Sonny. It's all you need is just that. And then when you DM them, you'll say like, "Hey, I do this for this, what you do, who you do it for, and I'd love to help you with this." And right now I'm like getting on calls with people and just like sharing strategy and whatever your offer is. And then you get them on a call and then bam, you add a bunch of value. I'm sure there's a way you can add a lot of value. And then once you add all that value, then they can run with it. Or if whatever your offer like alleviates something, whether it's time or makes them more money or whatever it is, then there you go, good to go, right? I hope that's helpful. All right, Tom asks, is there a website or service to check out Upwork profiles for more success? I'm going into 5th year, 98% job success and top rated, but I think my profile could be better. Okay. Okay, I see what you're asking. So Tom's asking, is there like a service out there that like reviews your Upwork profile and says, "Yo, this is good, this sucks." Tom, drop your Upwork profile link. I'll review it right now. Drop it in the chat and I'll share my screen and we'll all review it together. But drop it though. I will review it live. If you're cool with people seeing it live. I'll make sure it's really on point, real specific, and then we'll get through that. While I'm waiting for you, Tom, Sonny says, that's a great point. We'll definitely start optimizing Instagram for my offer right away. Any tips for writing, especially first sentence cold emails? Okay. For cold emails, again, you want to have a follow-up sequence with your cold emails. And in terms of like the first email that you send out, Sonny, just be concise. Don't write a really fucking long email. Just I'm just like I'm not a good copywriter. I'm just like straight to the point. I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to like think where I was sending out cold emails with for like design contracts, like doing like one of our designers, we lost the client. Well, we didn't lose the client. The client contract ended. Some of our designers had more time. So I was like, let's fill this time. So I started DMing a bunch of people, and then I got a design contract from it. And I think they were looking for a designer, and I had just cold email and said, hey, so see you're looking for a designer. Love try to add value. So I added value somehow. And then with design, it's a little different because I was just like, here's a link to like our portfolio. You can check out all of our designs. And if you want, I'll jump on a call, talk a little bit about design strategy. And if we're a good fit for each other, we'd be happy to design stuff for you. So in your case, you're selling like content coaching, etc. I would say something like, hey, I help creators do XYZ. I saw that you're creating this awesome content. I love these videos. I can help you maybe get a little more viewership. I can help you increase your click-through rate on the videos. Whatever it is, let them know what the value is that you can offer, and then give them a reason to get on a call. You got to get them on a call so you can like add value and then try to like close. So figure out what that is. Again, concise. Where's the value add? Get them on a call. Then in follow up, I like to say things like, hey, following up with the last email, we just helped 3 more creators do XYZ. Would love to do the same for you. Let me know if you'd like to still jump on a call or not. And then the third follow up is, something similar like that as well. Something that adds value that tries to get them on the call and shows like social proof. All the tactics of like marketing and sales are the same on cold emailing. Like if you can show social proof, if you can create any type of time scarcity, if you can offer value to get them this book an appointment. One email I got that was pretty good is someone cold emailed me that was like selling dev services. A lot of agencies will sell dev services to other dev agencies. And someone cold emailed me, and I got on a call with them just because I was like, this is the best cold email I've ever gotten. And they pretty much at the bottom of the email were like, in the PS section, which by the way, everyone, the PS section is the most read part of the email. They were like, PS, we know your time's valuable, so we'll give you a $25 gift card for jumping on a call with us. And I was like, that is freaking genius. I'm going to steal that. I love that because in the dev world, like a contract is worth a lot of money. $25 gift card. If you can close at like a 20% close rate or more, then you just do simple math. Like if offering a $25 gift card increases people going to the appointment by 10% and you have a 20% close rate, then like the more people you get on there, great, right? So you start doing math. Okay. Tom, I don't know what your statement means, but again, if you drop your Upwork profile, I'll share it and we'll review it live. Okay, someone asks or says, huge fan of your starting from scratch series. It's motivating me to get my shit together. No excuses to your failures. Just kept pushing until you built something up. That's right. That's how it is, my man. Not just like during this, it's just like real life too. Like I've been $50,000 in debt. Like when I started Toll Media, my startup Mapify / Park and Be, I racked up a ton of credit card debt because I was trying to make that stay afloat. We signed a really bad contract at Toll Media. One of the first contracts I signed, I lost so much money on it. And I was 50 grand in debt. And I was like waking up every fucking day ready to go. You just got to react to what cards you're dealt. You just got to keep going and going and going and just know what that North Star is, which for me, it's like help people. And I love building business. So you just got to keep building. You're underrated. I appreciate it. G Visionary, if you got any questions, drop them, man. I'm happy to be helpful. All right, Sunny says, do you suggest emailing Sunny Shah to start, or should I email as an agency even if I don't get a website or brand, or should I make a website first? Okay, so in terms of like cold emailing, it is good if you can do a website, because what's going to happen is and don't let this hold you back from getting started. Also, like don't put a lot of time into the website, which sounds like stupid, but you don't want to like spend a bunch of time and then not make the website, right? You got to start emailing, you got to move forward. So Sunny, it's important to do whatever's going to like get you going now. What I always tell people is build, unless you're a developer and you know how to build sites quick, use Wix. Wix.com is the easiest way to move very, 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 very quickly. Like, don't use Squarespace, don't use Weebly, don't use anything other than Wix. In my opinion, don't use fucking WordPress. Use Wix. Now, that's unless you're comfortable in something else. It's so easy to just drag and drop, build a site real quick, get it up, go. Do a one-pager. Like, it can look like shit. Don't worry about looking like shit. You obviously don't want it to look like total shit, but like the point is get it up, have a landing page, value prop, which is what we do, who we do it for, a button to schedule a call, then you scroll down and maybe like a services section, about section, call to action to book a call. Like, make it super easy. If you have social proof, great, whatever, great. You want to get them to book a call and give them some form of incentive. Like, the incentive to book a call might be like a 30-minute strategy session where you break down XYZ. You want them to be like excited to book a call with you. Now, the reason I say to build a website, if you can, and do it very quickly, is because when you send an email, the first thing you're going to do is they're going to go to your website. So they get an email from you. They are going to go to your website and they're going to check out what you do, who you do it for. So you don't get to say a lot of that. You don't get all of it out in just an email. Then they'll go to the website and they'll see everything about you. So I would just throw it up though. And the more you can have, the better, right? Like if someone emails and it's like they get on the website, it's an awesome converting website, everything's great on it. That takes time to do. So don't let that like hold you back. Just get a shitty website up and go. That's what I did with the MDC Consulting stuff. It was like, we're like, okay, let's just throw up a real quick website. It sucks. The website's terrible, but it works. So I would get a website up real quick with Wix. Hope that answers your question, Sonny. G Visionary, I appreciate you. Thanks for the kind words. Okay, so I was wondering why you didn't try to do the dropshipping business during the series. I thought you would have tried to use it to make some income. Is it because you're on a tight schedule to make money? Okay, great question. So for anyone watching, if you just joined, then because I see a bit more people did just join, what I was saying earlier is I actually think in the situation of going like homeless to like getting on your feet, I think an e-commerce business is one of the worst businesses to start. Don't do dropshipping. Don't do e-com, in my opinion. I think it's an awful business to the cash flows. It was very, very easy and quick for me to make money doing services. So like I signed a $2,000 a month contract very quickly. I signed a $3,000 contract very quickly once I wanted to. I could have very easily gone to $10,000 to $20,000 a month very fast, just selling services, like very, very, very fast, just doing outbound and selling services. The reason I didn't do that was like, it's going to be kind of hard to get to $1 million doing that in the short period of time. Now, in terms of drop shipping, to clarify here, I did some drop shipping stuff for fun. I personally hate the business of drop shipping. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it personally. The margins are low. But I did do some drop shipping. I did make a little bit of money drop shipping. I actually never shared it with the vlog. It was very little. So like I took products on, I think Walmart or something, and I listed them on eBay and like charge a little bit more. That's what I did for drop shipping. I think there's like a lot of total horseshit online about drop shipping. Let me just say that again. Total horseshit online. Do not believe the bull crap you see online about dropshipping. Here's the facts, guys. Here's the facts. I have a lot of friends that run e-com business. I know a lot of people that run e-com businesses. And the truth of the matter is the net profit, the bottom line, the bottom of the income statement is very fucking low. So when you see some asshole saying, I make 7 figures drop shipping, that motherfucker's making nothing. Like that dude is fucking broke. You're making $1 million drop shipping and your net profit after all expenses is fucking 5%. Well, guess what? That person made $50,000. You can sign a couple contracts and make 50 grand. Like think about this, guys. You can sign 2 contracts, 2 that you do yourself. No one else, just you. 2 contracts for $2,000 a month. That's $4,000 a month times 12. Annually, that's $48,000 a year. So you could literally take on 2 clients, do a little bit of work every week, and not have to worry about all this drop shipping bullshit and hiring people and doing all this crap. And some MFer that's making $1 million flexing that they made $1 million, and they actually at the end of the day took home less than 50 grand is making the same amount of you with your 2 clients where you work maybe 5 hours a week. So keep that in mind, guys. There's a lot of bullshit on the internet about dropshipping, and I'm not a fan of it. Now, there's a lot of times that I am a big fan of dropshipping, a huge fan of dropshipping. So, like, for example, with like the coffee business, for example, like if we start selling t-shirts and mugs, what I'd want to do is drop ship to start, right? Like to start selling t-shirts and mugs, we are going to drop ship it. So we don't have to have internal inventory. We don't have to put capital up front. Big benefit to doing that. And then people start buying it. So we're like, okay, we have enough volume now. Let's in-house it and deploy cash so we have higher margin. I love drop shipping for that case scenario. I love drop shipping for testing things. I hate drop shipping for like, okay, let's just build a business, drop ship stuff, and then move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Here's the big problem with this, and this is the most important part to understand. So listen up. Drop shipping businesses will most likely not have a good sale value. Unless you do it like really well, like why would I want to buy your shitty dropship business, right? Now, e-com businesses can have a 3x multiple on net profit around that. But like if you're drop shipping and then you just kill the business because like once you stop doing all this drop shipping stuff, it doesn't work, or eventually like ad costs get too much, whatever. It doesn't have as much of a value on sale. Whereas an agency is so much easier to build, so much less headaches, so much less moving parts. And in my opinion, the only 2 benefits of e-commerce versus agency is 1, exit multiples higher. And then 2, if you're like really good at marketing and you suck at sales and you suck at like hiring and managing people, then like e-com might be better for you. So like point is, it's like that's where your skill set is, then great. So in my personal opinion, I am not a fan of drop shipping. When in the case scenario of like, let's make $1 million drop shipping crap, not a fan of it. Tangent, but I hope that answered your question. Okay. So let me just follow up to this. I know there's a couple other questions, so I'll get to them, guys. So what would you recommend a young kid, 17 years old, who has a good amount of resources, computer, camera, etc., just don't have any startup money or a car? Only thing I have done lately is make YouTube content. Okay. So G Visionary, it's all, you said I'm interested in online business. Okay. So it's all about what you're good at, what you enjoy doing. Like if you enjoy creating businesses and entrepreneurship, but you like really enjoy marketing, then like I would try to do something in the marketing world. If you like love product development, then like do something around product development. So now here's the most important things, everyone. So if you're starting a business and it's your first business ever, my opinion that I'm very passionate about is to only start a professional service-based business first, not like an e-com business, not any of that crap, because the easiest business to start is a service business. So like I can tomorrow go and get a client for anything. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. I could start an accounting practice tomorrow. I could start a fucking design agency tomorrow. I can do anything tomorrow and go get clients for it and start closing deals. Now, here's the thing. Service businesses like that are the lowest risk, lowest reward. They require no capital up front. Like literally you could start doing it with no money. Take $100, throw up a Wix site, get a domain, all that crap. All you need is maybe $100 if you want to go professional. You don't even have to, but you probably do. $100, that's it. What other business can you start with no money whatsoever? So you're going to fuck up. If it's your first business, you're going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up a bunch, but I'd much rather fuck up and lose $100 than fuck up and lose $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000. So for that reason, I highly recommend starting a professional service-based business to start because it's very low risk. And then you still learn the business fundamentals. You still can learn hiring. You still learn management. You still learn sales. You still learn account management. You still learn leadership skills. You still learn hustle. Like you still get all the fundamentals of business without taking a lot of risk. So I'm a big fan. And at the end of the day, you can actually walk away with cash. So again, big fan of starting with service business. So G Visionary, I would figure out like what are some things you're passionate about, build an agency around it. And then go find people that are really good at it, hire those people, build them out, and build your agency. And if you don't like doing it after a year, then just stop doing it. Walk away with $50,000. You didn't have to make $1 million, and big wins. Especially at 17, if you can actually execute that. Okay. Okay, so Paul says, shout out to Card. Wix is good too, possibly better for what Mike's describing, but Card is really good for very cheap. Check out Card then. Never heard of it. I might have heard of it. I don't know. I think I might have heard of Card, but it also might be something totally different. Because it's kind of like landing pages, but it's a little weird. Paul knows what's up though, so check out Card. Okay, Tom said he dropped the link. I don't see it, Tom. Tom, I don't see any Upwork link. Redrop it. It should be like upwork.com/your profile or something like that. Okay, Sonny says, thanks, Mike. Been in a rut since I realized that productivity coaching was a tough business because my target market didn't have much disposable income. Super excited to start this new biz. That's awesome, man. If you have other questions, hit me up. Chase says the only way to make money dropshipping is by selling a course on how to dropship. Exactly. You can make money dropshipping, of course. Again, you got to use it for what it's worth. Someone else said 1+ for Card. Maybe I gotta check out Card. I guess there's a little bit of a learning curve to Card. If you want to do multiple sections. Again, I love Wix because it's so freaking easy. It's all drag and drop, very easy, very, very, very easy. Okay, so someone says, I've been following you. You're amazing. You can explain a little bit about how you can do Fiverr to work for you. Okay. Thanks for the kind words. Fiverr, I'm not an expert in Fiverr at all. I know people are making money from Fiverr. I know that it's a good way to like sell services. I'm the wrong guy to ask about Fiverr. What I would assume though, because I've hired some people through Fiverr, is like reviews are really important. Being very specific about what you do and your offering is very important. And then being smart about upsells is important. That's all I can tell you. I'm not the right guy to talk about Fiverr though, so apologize. Answer my question. Thank you for feedback. Please keep uploading. I appreciate you, my man. Okay, so Paul says that that Card is like pages that give priority to mobile displays, which, by the way, guys, most people are on mobile when they're viewing your webpage. Cool. More Wix stuff. Never had a Wix site take longer than an afternoon, and I am garbage at design. I'm also garbage at design. Totally garbage. What I like to do, by the way, guys, is I draw out what's called the UX on Wix. So like I'll design the site to like flow however I want it to flow, and then I'll pass it off to a designer and be like, make my crap design look a little bit nicer. And then they'll make it look a little nicer. If you don't have budget though for that, it's totally fine. I've built a lot of sites in Wix that we didn't throw a designer on. They look like total shit. But people don't care about your design that much unless you're a design agency. If you're a design agency, you got to make it look nice. But if you're not a design agency, no one gives a shit about your design. They care about the text on the page. They care about hitting the page and being like, we're the growth agencies. We grow accounting practices. If you're an accountant, that's what you care about. Okay, how are you going to grow my accounting practice? They don't give a shit about like really nice design. So the words, the copy matters. Okay, Tom says that his link is somewhere here. Well, Tom, I see that you put something. We have 2 minutes, by the way. I don't think we're going to get to it, Tom. I don't see the link, but next live stream, if you want me to do it, shoot me a DM on maybe Instagram or something. I don't know. Shoot me a DM with the link to Upwork, and then we'll go over your Upwork profile live, and I'll walk through it and give you some feedback. So maybe it gives you a little time to update a little bit or put whatever you want on it. Cool stuff, guys. We got 1 more minute, so I'll do 1 more question. If anyone has any other questions, we'll do 1 more. Let me see if we got any on Insta. One more question, guys, and we're off. Let's see. Everyone's on YouTube. That's cool. That's pretty cool. With this, with what is it called? StreamYard. I can see where people are, like how many people are on each channel. That's kind of cool. I never knew that. I just knew like I could see like how many people are actually on. I didn't know I could see like, oh, this many on this many on this many on this. I guess we're not streaming to LinkedIn today. Oh no, we are. It just doesn't show LinkedIn. That's interesting. G Visionary says we need to do better with promo because our channel's underrated. I appreciate it. You know what? At the end of the day, this is a good example of like, don't worry about like the viewers, all that stuff. Like just put out good content, just continue to get better. And what we need to do a better job of, if you guys are interested, is like in terms of the content that we create, it doesn't do well for organic growth on YouTube. So like the way that we're going to start shooting videos moving forward is going to be much different. So we can rank better organically in YouTube. And when we're doing like longer form video like this, and it's like kind of a lot of different stuff happening, it doesn't perform as well versus if we did like a daily vlog that was like very specific. It just doesn't rank as well organically. And then when one video blows up on YouTube, then you get a lot of exposure and kind of get the ball rolling. So we're going to start trying to do things to try to hit that organic reach on YouTube while still creating the same types of content. And then is those other like shots at going more viral on YouTube hit, hopefully, then we get more viewership and then like the ball starts rolling. So, but last thing, highlight of your week. Highlight of my week. I guess a highlight of the week is like okay, so Deirdre and I are like stuck inside. So you gotta understand, like with my situation right now, I can't really go out. We can't do much. I can't hang out with friends. Can't like see a lot of people because my dad's on chemo. So like we don't really go out too much. So like going nuts, just like inside pretty much all the time. All my friends back in the Philly area want to hang out, but I can't hang out with them because I don't want to risk like hanging out with someone getting COVID. So we're getting like stir crazy up in here. So Deirdre really wanted to go to the casino the other day. So we went and played some craps for a little at the casino and won. I think we won like $160. So that was cool. Obviously, we didn't film that. You can't film inside casinos, but that was cool. That was a fun time. So that was the highlight of the week. Appreciate you guys all for joining this week's live stream. Go crush it this week, guys. If you have follow-up questions, hit me up on Insta, shoot me a DM, and enjoy the rest of the week. See you guys. Peace.